We're actually somewhat in the case. We don't have any deductions yet. The beginning was kind of long. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. We can Scotland Yard.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, we have a slight problem.
Someone
What
escaped.
happened?
One of the suspects, Mr. Reginald Butcher, has escaped. It was after we asked him to put his belongings in the evidence room. I'm sorry.
The rude
How
guy.
did he escape?
He hit me in the face. Took me by surprise, you know, otherwise I,
Of course. That's all?
Just before he left the yard, he shouted, "Sorry, I'll come back later."
Sorry, I'll come back later.
He could have said that without punching me.
Is Inspector Lestrade here?
No, he will be absent for a couple of days. Can we keep this incident between us?
So, I bet that's Mr. Rude Boy. How much you want to bet that's Mr. Rude Boy?
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
So did he take his? He didn't take his belongings. Does that say who it is?
The initials MB.
That's Butcher. Mr. Butcher, we have the most excellent news for you. Please arrange to visit the hospital as soon as possible so that we can conclude this matter. P.S. Her condition is stationary. If that's the rude guy, that'd be more understandable why he's so tense. Dr. Matthew Smith. Dr. Matt Smith? That's awesome. I don't think that was on purpose, but that's fucking awesome. Great Ormond Street Hospital. It's London, so maybe. It's Britain, so he maybe.
This letter from yesterday perhaps explains why Butcher was in such a hurry. At any rate, I now have an exact address.
Geronimo. He's my favorite of the new ones. Matt Smith. My all-time favorite doctor is, I can't think of his name, Patrick Troughton. Dear Mr. Butcher, your repeated absence is compounded by your delays with the existing workload supply simply cannot continue. You are responsible for a number of serious errors that your colleagues have found themselves compelled to rectify. We are sorry for this present situation, as you have always been an exemplary employee. We understand the complication of your personal situation, but if you are unable to correct your behavior in the immediate future, we shall be forced to terminate your employment. The directors. Dun, 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 dun. Suspicious. Suspicious. The directors. Underground. Electric. Railways. Suspicious. Company, London.
Reginald Butcher had problems with his job. This pen is an expensive one, but it isn't new. Reginald Butcher is fond of sweets.
I want a candy cane. Wait, what?
The initials MB.
No, what's the M for? Probably his wife.
Thick leather gloves. They're probably insulated.
Electric company. Or whoever, I mean, with MB, Reginald Butcher is probably his wife, whoever's in the hospital. Most likely his wife.
My life has changed thanks to Pastor Gordon and my faith. Whiskey. Of poor quality.
Mine's actually decent quality.
Murad. Quite a popular brand of cigarette.
Benjamin, my son, I would be so pleased if you could join me and help lead our next charity banquet, which is due to take place on Sunday after the service. Your good will bring such joy, and I know that I may rely upon you. I remember how your life began in sin. You were feeling rejected and alone in the world, and how you turned to the criminal path. But you found strength within you to make the change. You became a good man. Our Lord will have mercy upon you. I shall always be happy to see you in my church, in our church, my son. God bless you, Pastor Gordon. So it's probably not biological son. It says in the pastor, it always says my son. Wait, yeah, I figured all that out.
Electrical wires.
Dear Mr. Garrett, we are obliged to inform you that despite your expropriation, you are still in debt to considerable sum of money. Motive. We request that you contact our payment service as soon as possible. Otherwise, we shall be obliged to involve the police in this unfortunate matter. Mr. Stewart, Financial Director, Bank of England.
A book. Karl Heinzen's 1848 Der Mord, with a bookmark.
Then check the bookmark out.
This terrible passage is apparently appreciated by Garrett.
If you have to blow up half a continent and create a bloodbath in order to destroy the barbarians' party, you can be deemed to possess neither scruples or conscience. Well, this is awfully suspicious. Anyone who would not happily sacrifice his life for the honor of exterminating 1 million barbarians is not a true Republican. I agree. Such clear-sightedness. Suspicion. No one. Who's this guy? Wait, what's it? 4 suspects. There were 3.
The belongings of the victims, Rasko and his acolyte.
That explains it.
A police report about Rasko. He's only a minor criminal.
Rasko, also known as Mauricio Alfredo Vincente. Also known as Rasko, leader of a small local gang whose members can be identified by a gang's motive, a dog tattoo. The gang has been involved in frequent violence, robbery, pickpocketing, etc.
A Webley revolver. A standard deck of playing cards. A normal pocket knife. Rasko is fond of licorice. Huh.
That's where the stain came from. Boop, 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 boop. So we've So what I'm going to do now is I'd like to interrogate them all at once. Let's see if it'll let me leave. It may not let me leave. I don't see any way. Let's see if it lets me. I'm going to track down that guy, get them all in at once, and then interrogate him. Let's do some inductions while we're doing this. I thought that would be it. So bank's debtor, Thomas Garrett. So let's do that's the only 2 that connect right now, only 2 of the same name. So, Thomas Garrett is an anarchist. Okay, that works too. I didn't see those two names. Okay. Thomas Garrett. Oh, so those two could be Butcher and Garrett. So those two could be connected. We'll find more clues and put them together later. So let's find Smiling Boy here.
I'm apparently in the children's ward.
Oh my god, this is child. It's even worse. I hope he didn't do it, so I have to kind of feel sorry for the guy. But it's a great motive. You know?
Merrill Butcher.
Let's see him. Let's see if we can find. I don't think there'll be anything else. It won't make sense for them to be anything else in here, but we'll look.
I'm apparently in the children's ward.
So it's this kid. Jesus. I'm hoping he didn't do it. I really am, because it's so sad. But I mean, fathers will do anything to save their children. Must be the mother.
The young woman lost her life.
I guess that was the black strap means.
Mr. Butcher's wife.
What's her name? I can't read it. Judith? Yeah, Judith. Mr. Butcher, I can confirm that we are willing to admit your daughter into the care of our hospital. You will be responsible for the travel expenditure, naturally taking all appropriate precautions due to the delicate state of your daughter. Additionally, you must attend to any accommodation costs and all medical attention. The final bill cannot be summarized within this letter. It will depend, of course, on your daughter's condition, but I must warn you, the sum may be considerable. Dr. K.O. Medin, Karolinska University Hospital, Stockholm. I guess that doesn't really put you to sleep.
Admission file at Karolinska University Hospital in Stockholm.
Why you run away, boy? You best come back to jail.
Mr. Reginald Butcher, I come from Scotland Yard. Might we talk?
All right, but not too loudly. She's finally asleep.
Is she your daughter?
My pretty little Merrill. She's very ill. Now look, I'm sorry I ran, but I had to see Dr. Blowberry today and the policeman wouldn't listen.
Don't worry, I understand now.
He looks like a rude boy. It's a railway worker. We pretty much figured that out. He had the pen. If I remember correctly, he was the one that had the pen that was fancy but old. So was once prosperous. Was married. Most of the time it's fairly easy without looking at the shadows. I only missed one of them in the whole game so far. Reginald Butcher is a married man. Not anymore. Holds the position of railway worker. He is depressed due to the illness of his daughter, of whom he is extremely fond. His shoes are shining. They have no doubt been recently cleaned. His expensive waistcoat, now in shabby condition, reveals that He was previously a prosperous man. Mr. Butcher loves his daughter and is not ashamed to wear a child's bracelet to display his affection. We met her case. I never noticed that.
Can she be cured?
It'll take a long time, but I'm confident that we'll win this fight. I can't bear to think otherwise.
Yes. Probably just a question of money.
What are you talking about? It's a question of willpower, and my daughter will win.
Well, it suddenly stopped. Oh, he suddenly... I think that suddenly stopped the, let me browse the evidence just to be sure, but I think suddenly stopped is why the cat was hurt.
I do hope so. Although the treatment at the Karolinska University Hospital is very expensive.
Yeah, it's our only hope. Thanks to the good Dr. Blowberry, she finally has a bed. We're going out next week. It's our last chance. Do you have children?
Yes. I have a daughter too.
Blowberry. This is a funny name.
We'd sacrifice our lives for our children, would we not?
Yes. Of course, yes.
Man, I feel so terrible for him. I really hope he's not the murderer. He's a rude boy. Look at his face. It's like I said, I understand his motive. Anybody would do, any father, good father would do anything to save their child. And he could have been paid to do that. Oh my god, shit.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Butcher?
I work at the office of the Underground Electric Railways Company.
Then you must be familiar with electrical devices.
I am indeed. Why do you ask?
It is of no consequence, but tell me, what are the reasons behind the problems you're experiencing at work?
Problems? What do you mean?
You have already received a written warning.
Yes. I'm often late to work. My boss doesn't understand my situation. It's difficult since my daughter became ill.
I see.
Technical cat.
Coincidentally, we found one of your company's cabs in the square where the accident occurred.
Really? Why was it there?
I have no idea. Do you?
No. But a week ago we had a technical cab stolen, along with its tools. Do you think that could be the one?
It's possible.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I can't talk to him anymore.
Meryl's asleep.
I'm gonna go with this for now because I'm trying to have some good faith here. I'm leaning more towards this, but I'm trying to have faith in humanity. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. What the hell? Oh, so it's weird that it was the gap that's still there. Move. That's all we can do for now. Is that going to save? Yes, it is. So now I know how to save. I was going to go into induction space anytime I need to save. What's this? I want to check that out. No, that's just children's stuff again. So, that's it for tonight, but we'll continue this case. I'm kind of wary about it because, as I said, I really don't want it to be Reginald. But, unfortunately, so far, he's the most likely suspect. It could have not even been gang-related. Or if it was, it could have been another gang say they'll pay you. We know about your debts. We'll pay you to kill these people so you can save your daughter. I'm hoping not. But unfortunately, I'm leaning towards that right now. But we'll see. So good night, everybody. I'll catch you later. And thank you for watching as always.